It all started with an anonymous post on a reality TV gossip forum. Screenshots of Joey and Kelsey's private chats had surfaced, allegedly showing them complaining about paying for a friend's wedding while planning yet another lavish Miami party. Fans went wild. The post was everywhere. Reddit, Instagram, TikTok. Memes were relentless. Joey holding a stack of cash, Kelsey rolling her eyes at a budget spreadsheet, captions like "living paycheck to paycheck, millionaire edition." Joey called Kelsey late that night, frustration in his voice. "They've got the wrong idea. These are private chats, taken out of context. This could ruin everything." Kelsey ran a hand through her hair. "I know, but the internet doesn't care about context. They just want drama." Meanwhile, a rival reality star, Taylor Greene, known for stirring up chaos online, posted a cryptic Instagram story. "Some people complain about money while hosting castles full of champagne. Guess we all have our priorities." Fans immediately speculated, was Taylor talking about Joey and Kelsey? The couple's phones blew up. Notifications came in faster than they could respond. Every media outlet from People to TMZ ran headlines analyzing the feud. In Miami, the backlash escalated. Joey and Kelsey noticed a drop in engagement on sponsored posts, and fan pages that once celebrated them were now dissecting every word they said. A TikTok went viral showing Joey and Kelsey at a yacht party, overlaid with dramatic captions. "When you complain about money, but your lifestyle says otherwise." The video had millions of views in hours. Even longtime fans questioned their authenticity. One comment read, "I used to love them, but now it's hard to take them seriously. It's like they live in a fantasy world." Joey felt the sting of criticism personally. "It's wild," he admitted to a close friend. "We worked hard to get here, but suddenly it feels like no matter what we do, it's wrong." Determined to regain control of the narrative, Joey and Kelsey held a strategy session in their penthouse suite. Laptops, phones, and legal pads surrounded them. "Option 1, Joey said, sipping water. "We go fully transparent. Show everything. Budgeting, sponsorships, income, full disclosure." Kelsey shook her head. "I don't think fans want that. They want the fantasy. Maybe we lean into humor, make fun of ourselves." They eventually settled on a hybrid approach, honesty with a dash of self-aware humor. Their next Instagram story showed them with mock sad faces holding dollar bills, captioned, "Budgeting is hard, even for the famous and fabulous." It was met with mixed reactions. Some applauded the humor, others called it tone-deaf. But it was a start. Despite their efforts, the press wasn't done. Gossip columns ran exposés titled "Inside Joey and Kelsey's Extravagant Life, Complaints, Leaks, and Controversy," and "The Bachelor Alumni in Financial Faux Pas." TV segments showed clips of their parties juxtaposed with the leaked chats, highlighting the apparent contradiction. Reality TV experts debated, were Joey and Kelsey entitled or simply overwhelmed by sudden fame? Even a podcast devoted an entire episode to their saga, with hosts saying, "We've never seen a couple so glamorous, yet so publicly stressed about money. It's a fascinating social experiment." The couple watched in disbelief. "Fascinating or terrifying," Kelsey muttered. One night, Joey had an idea. "Let's host a charity event," he suggested. "Something meaningful. We can show we care about more than parties." Kelsey loved the idea. They organized a beach gala raising funds for underprivileged youth, combining glitz with purpose. Press coverage shifted. Headlines now read, "Joey and Kelsey give back. Bachelor couple uses fame for charity," and social media buzz was largely positive. Fans who had been critical began to soften. Memes shifted from mocking to playful. "Look at them, still rich, but now philanthropic too." It wasn't perfect redemption, but it was progress. Private struggles behind the glamour. Despite public gestures, Joey and Kelsey were still navigating personal challenges. Balancing sponsorships, content creation, and public appearances left little time for real connection. Late one night, Joey confessed, "Sometimes I just want normal life. No cameras, no comments, no drama." Kelsey nodded. "Me too, but that's not our life anymore. We have to adapt, or it will consume us." It was a humbling realization. Fame was intoxicating, glamorous, and terrifying all at once. Complaints about money weren't just financial, they were emotional. The couple had to learn that fame magnifies every frustration. Lessons learned and moving forward. Months passed and the public feud became a distant memory. Joey and Kelsey had embraced a more balanced lifestyle, sharing moments of luxury and simplicity alike. Their posts included workout routines, DIY date nights, and behind-the-scenes glimpses of business negotiations. Fans appreciated the authenticity. Even critics acknowledged their efforts. "They've grown up in front of us," one blogger wrote, from partygoers complaining about money to a couple navigating fame with humor and heart. Joey and Kelsey finally understood that reality TV fame was a double-edged sword. It offered glamour and opportunity, but magnified every misstep. They had learned to laugh at themselves, embrace authenticity, and engage with fans on a deeper level. Epilogue. The internet forgets, but the lessons remain. Social media moved on, as it always does. New scandals, parties, and reality stars took the spotlight. Yet for Joey and Kelsey, the Miami party, the leaked chats, and the criticism would remain a defining chapter in their story. Sitting on their balcony, Joey held Kelsey's hand. "We survived it," he said quietly. Kelsey smiled. "We did, and we're stronger for it." The waves whispered against the shore, reminding them that while fame is fleeting, growth is permanent. And for Joey and Kelsey, that lesson was worth every champagne-soaked night, every viral meme, and every whispered criticism. Kaitlyn Bristowe had always been known for her bubbly personality, her infectious laugh, and the way she lit up every room she entered. Whether she was sharing her dating adventures on The Bachelorette, hosting her podcast, or streaming her live sessions to her devoted fans, Kaitlyn had a unique way of making people feel seen, loved, and entertained. But behind the polished smile and endless positivity, she was fighting a personal battle that she hadn't fully shared with the world until now. It started subtly, with her dad, Mark, mentioning that he wasn't feeling quite right. He shrugged it off, as dads often do, with a joke about needing more coffee or about getting older. Kaitlyn laughed along, masking the concern that gnawed at her. But as weeks turned into months, it became impossible to ignore. Mark's energy was fading, his usual humor was tinged with fatigue, and small tasks that had once been effortless now left him breathless. One evening, after another routine doctor's visit, Mark called Kaitlyn into the living room. The look on his face silenced her before he could even speak. The news hit like a wave. Cancer. A word heavy with fear, uncertainty, and heartbreak. Her world stopped for a moment, though she had to hold herself together for her dad. The struggle of public life and private pain. For someone whose career was built on being constantly in the public eye, Kaitlyn had always been careful about what she shared. Her followers knew her as the cheerful, candid Bachelorette star, not as a daughter navigating her father's terminal illness. She wrestled with whether to keep it private or bring her community into this painful chapter of her life. The decision to share didn't come easily. Kaitlyn's social media had always been a space of joy, positivity, and empowerment. Sharing her dad's cancer felt like breaking that safe space, exposing a vulnerability she wasn't sure the world could handle. But she also knew the power of honesty and the connection her fans had built with her over the years. Finally, after weeks of contemplation, Kaitlyn took to Instagram. She held her phone close, her hands shaking as she wrote, "Some of you may have noticed I've been a little quieter lately. That's because my dad has been diagnosed with cancer. It's been the hardest thing our family has faced, and I wanted to share this with you because I know the power of community, love, and support. Please keep him in your thoughts and prayers." The post went live, and the response was immediate. Messages of love, support, and prayers flooded her inbox. Fans praised her bravery and shared their own stories of dealing with illness, creating a tapestry of solidarity and empathy. Yet behind the notifications, Kaitlyn's heart was heavy. Public support couldn't shield her from the sleepless nights and the moments of quiet despair, navigating hope and fear. Every day became a careful balance between hope and fear. Kaitlyn accompanied her dad to doctor's appointments, sat with him during treatments, and tried to maintain a sense of normalcy in their family life. She made him laugh in ways only she could, pulling on silly faces, telling stories of her adventures on reality TV, or recounting the outrageous moments from her podcast recordings. But there were nights when the laughter stopped. Nights when Kaitlyn would sit in the quiet of her apartment, staring at the ceiling, and let the tears flow freely. She worried about what the future would hold, about losing the man who had always been her rock, her mentor, and her biggest cheerleader. During these moments, Kaitlyn's phone would light up with supportive messages from fans and fellow Bachelorette alumni. Some shared advice, some shared prayers, and others simply reminded her that she wasn't alone. It was a strange comfort to see so many people care deeply about a struggle that had nothing to do with romance or reality TV drama. The strength of family. Through it all, the Bristowe family became an unbreakable team. Kaitlyn's mom, siblings, and close friends rallied around Mark, ensuring he never felt alone. They coordinated meals, doctor visits, and daily check-ins, all while Kaitlyn continued to juggle her career and public life. Kaitlyn herself became more reflective, realizing how precious every moment with her dad was. They revisited old family traditions, Sunday dinners, Saturday morning hikes, and movie nights that stretched into the early hours of the morning. Every laugh, every shared memory felt infinitely more significant now. Her dad, though weakened by treatment, remained his source of wisdom and humor. "Life's too short to dwell on the bad stuff," he would say, smiling through the pain. "Just keep dancing, Kaitlyn. Keep dancing." It was these words that gave her the strength to keep going, to stay present for her fans, and to continue sharing her journey. A heartbreaking update. Recently, Kaitlyn shared a more devastating update. The cancer had progressed faster than anyone had anticipated, and her dad's treatments weren't as effective as hoped. She posted a tearful video on Instagram, her voice quivering as she spoke directly to the camera. "I wanted to give you an update on my dad. The fight has been really tough, and the doctors are doing everything they can. It's been a roller coaster, and I won't sugarcoat it. This is heartbreaking. But my dad is the strongest man I know. We are going to continue to fight together as a family. I ask for your continued love, prayers, and support during this really difficult time." The response was overwhelming. Celebrities, fans, and former reality TV stars sent messages of solidarity. Yet, even as Kaitlyn read these messages, she felt the weight of reality pressing down on her. Sharing the truth was cathartic, but it also made the situation painfully tangible. Finding light in darkness. Despite the fear and sadness, Kaitlyn refused to let the darkness consume her. She continued her work, her podcast, and her appearances, using her platform to spread awareness about cancer, the importance of family support, and the power of community. Kaitlyn also started a personal project, a video series documenting moments with her dad, celebrating life in the face of illness. She filmed small, intimate moments, Mark laughing while cooking, Kaitlyn attempting to teach him TikTok dances, and the quiet nights they spent sharing stories. It wasn't about fame, it was about preserving memories, creating a living tribute to the love and bond they shared. Through it all, Kaitlyn discovered a depth of resilience she hadn't known she possessed. She found the strength to cry, to hope, and to fight alongside her dad. And though the journey was incredibly hard, it was also filled with moments of joy, love, and profound human connection. The message Kaitlyn wants to share. In every update she shares with her fans, Kaitlyn emphasizes one thing: cherish the people you love. Life can change in an instant, and the moments you take for granted today may become the memories you treasure tomorrow. Her story is a reminder that even public figures face deeply personal struggles, that behind the curated social media posts and glamorous appearances are real people experiencing fear, grief, and love in its purest forms. Kaitlyn's vulnerability has inspired countless fans to hug their parents a little tighter, to say "I love you" more often, and to never take a single day for granted. This story is far from over. Kaitlyn's journey with her dad is ongoing, a blend of heartache, hope, and unbreakable family love. Through every post, every video, and every candid moment, she shows the world that even in the face of devastating news, love and resilience can shine brighter than any darkness. The hospital had become a second home for Kaitlyn. She knew the routine of sterile hallways, beeping monitors, and the shuffle of nurses' shoes on linoleum floors as well as she knew her own reflection. But nothing could have prepared her for the emotional weight that each visit carried. "Hi, Dad," she said one afternoon, slipping into his hospital room. He looked up from the window, the sunlight casting a soft glow across his tired face. "How are we feeling today?" Mark shrugged, a faint smile tugging at his lips. "Surviving, but you look exhausted, kiddo." "I'm fine, just staying close," Kaitlyn replied, forcing a smile. Inside, she was anything but fine. The sight of her father, once so vibrant and strong, now frail and worn by illness, stabbed at her heart. They spoke quietly, sharing small, ordinary things, the kind of chatter people often overlook, but that Kaitlyn now cherished. They laughed at old family stories, her mom trying to teach her dad yoga, her brother's failed attempts at baking, and the time Kaitlyn had fallen into a fountain during a podcast event. Those memories, simple and human, became a lifeline amidst the chaos of treatments and uncertainty. The weight of being publicly vulnerable. Kaitlyn's fans had always been an essential part of her life, offering encouragement and sharing in her joys. But revealing her dad's illness brought a new kind of vulnerability. Suddenly, every post, every story, every mention of her family felt scrutinized. People asked questions she didn't always have answers to, or, worse, offered advice she couldn't follow. Yet, she pressed on. Kaitlyn realized that honesty, even when painful, was more powerful than pretending everything was perfect. If my story helps even one person cherish their family a little more, she told herself, it's worth it. Her posts became both a coping mechanism and a way to raise awareness about cancer. She shared videos of her dad's courage during chemotherapy, pictures of their quiet moments at home, and even candid stories of her own emotional breakdowns. She didn't shy away from tears, exhaustion, or fear, and her fans responded with overwhelming love and understanding. Moments of connection. One evening, Kaitlyn brought her dad home for a short respite. The hospital had been relentless, and she wanted him to feel the comfort of his own space, even if only for a night. "Do you remember the camping trips we used to take?" she asked, helping him settle into the couch. Mark's eyes twinkled faintly, a spark of nostalgia breaking through his fatigue. "How could I forget? You, me, your mom, you all complaining about sleeping on the hard ground while I swore the stars were worth it." Kaitlyn laughed softly, leaning against him. "I never believed you at the time, but I think you were right. They were worth it." They spent hours reminiscing, looking through old photo albums, and laughing at pictures of younger versions of themselves. Kaitlyn noticed that these moments, though simple, carried a depth she hadn't felt in years. Every shared memory felt like a shield against the encroaching fear of loss. Balancing career and crisis. Even as her personal life was consumed by concern for her father, Kaitlyn had professional obligations that couldn't be ignored. Podcasts, interviews, social media campaigns, and public appearances demanded her presence. It was exhausting to put on a smiling face while her heart ached, but she learned to navigate it with grace. During one podcast recording, she found herself breaking down mid-sentence. I'm sorry," she stammered, tears streaming. The guests and crew were silent, allowing her the space to breathe. After a moment, Kaitlyn composed herself and smiled. "It's okay. Life isn't always perfect, and sometimes you just have to be honest about that." Listeners flooded the podcast with messages of support, sharing stories of their own struggles with family illness. Kaitlyn realized that by opening up, she wasn't just helping herself, she was creating a community where people could find comfort in shared vulnerability. The heart of Kaitlyn's courage. Her father, despite his illness, remained her guiding light. He encouraged her to live fully, to laugh loudly, and to embrace the unpredictable nature of life. "You can't control everything," Mark told her one evening, "but you can choose how you respond. Don't let fear steal your joy." Kaitlyn clung to these words, finding strength even in moments of despair. She danced in the living room with her dad, cooked meals together that didn't always turn out perfectly, and watched old movies, quoting lines they had both memorized. Each ordinary moment became extraordinary, a testament to love, resilience, and the unbreakable bond between father and daughter. Facing a new challenge. A few weeks later, Kaitlyn received news that shook her to the core. Mark's cancer had spread, and treatment options were becoming limited. The fear she had worked so hard to contain resurfaced with full force. She felt a raw, gnawing helplessness, a feeling unfamiliar for someone used to controlling her public image and personal life. Sitting by his side in the hospital room, Kaitlyn took her dad's hand. "We'll get through this," she whispered, though uncertainty trembled in her voice. Mark squeezed her hand weakly. "Kate, no matter what happens, you've always made me proud, and you've got more courage than you realize." Kaitlyn smiled through tears,
realizing that even in his weakened state, her father was teaching her the most profound lesson of all. Strength isn't the absence of fear, it's the ability to move forward despite it. The power of community. As Kaitlyn continued to share updates, her fans became an extension of her support system. People sent letters, gifts, and heartfelt messages, and Kaitlyn often shared these gestures on her social media, expressing gratitude and inspiring others to reach out to loved ones in their own lives. She even began coordinating small fundraising campaigns for cancer research, using her platform to make a tangible difference. Each donation, each shared story reinforced her belief in the power of community and connection. A daughter's reflection. Late one night, Kaitlyn sat alone in her apartment, reflecting on the whirlwind of the past months. She thought about the fleeting nature of life, the fragility of health, and the importance of love. She pulled out her journal and wrote, "Dad has taught me more in these months than I could have ever imagined, about courage, about laughter, about cherishing every moment. Life can be devastating, yes, but it's also beautiful, and I will hold on to that beauty no matter how hard the road ahead gets." Her words weren't just a tribute to her father, they were a reminder to herself and to everyone who followed her journey. Even in moments of pain, hope can exist, and love can shine brighter than the darkest challenges.